It's the Gooners podcast, Postgame open mic show. Welcome to the show. This is season 6, episode something like 37-ish or so, but we have defeated Burnley on the I almost gave an Americanism. I almost said on the road. It was an away game. We beat them. That doesn't happen all the time. And you know what? I'm happy, but we have a lot to discuss today because a 1-0 against Norwich at home, a 1-0 against Burnley away. What could be more different than those two games? But they were very, very different. So we're going to welcome onto our open mic show. We're going to start off with somebody who is clearly walking in Burnley, not in Memphis, but in Burnley, Mr. Lee Judges. Oh, my God. I've never seen a scarier angle of you.
No worries. Listen, I'm not in Burnley. I'm in London. I've just come out of the studio. So
you are a shit supporter then. If you don't go home and away, then you are not proper.
Right.
You're not a proper supporter.
I'm on a live stream. Someone wants to take a photo. 1 second, Mike. Right, you know what I mean? 1 second. You don't get that often live, you know.
Lee, I love you, man. I really do love you, man. Despite, a lot of people have opinions about a particular media outlet, and we're not going there. But you, my friend, I love, and the fact that people come up to you to ask for pictures while you're doing live streams for Yanks with 20 people watching just tells everything that you need to know about you, man.
No, that's it. No problem.
Where's your entourage? Why are you all alone right now?
Well, because I've just finished and I'm out tonight and I've just got to catch a train. But I see you want to do that, so I thought I'd jump on for a couple of minutes before I jump on and get the train. But of course, like you being you're late, so there you go.
So, all right. So, quick review before the train comes, before your Lincoln Town car comes to pick you up and sweep you away. Before another 20 people come to want to take a picture of you. It's a 1-0 win. Strangely, last week against Norwich, a 1-0 win felt good enough to me because I saw a lot of individual performances that were good. Just the overall team thing was bad. Today, I saw a lot of poor performances today, yet as a team, we got the job done in a probably tougher place to go. So give me your feedback.
Yeah, I'm on with you on that 100%. It wasn't about the performance today; it was about getting the result, and that was the most important thing. Hey, Dan, you're right. But the most important thing today was getting the performance, and that's what we got. We got the 3 points. Listen, some good defensive performances today. When we've not said that, we haven't said that for a long while. Gabriel, outstanding. Ramsdale, outstanding. Tomiyasu, brilliant, particularly in the last 10, 15 minutes when it mattered. When he had to defend it, they defended. Some worrying signs. I think Ben White again done some good things, some bad things, but ultimately he done okay, apart from a couple of mistakes. But ultimately we got the job done today. 3 points. That's the most important thing today. Clean sheet, 1-0 against Burnley. Listen, people were tipping us to draw today, Mike. You know what I mean? Not many people giving us to win this game. We'll take a point here and move on. No, we needed to win the game. We've done it. And today, I don't really care how we done it. I don't care about the performance. It was about getting the result. 1-0. Listen, somewhere along the line, that front three is going to click because I thought they were poor today again. But if they click and with that defensive playing like it was, then we've got a chance of doing some better stuff. So, listen, it's been a poor season for us to start off with, but ultimately now we're, I think, 12th in the league. We needed to build blocks.
Well, that's my lucky number. My favorite number is 12. So
because obviously it was a poor start. We've got that now. 2 wins, 1 away win, 1 at home, 2 clean sheets. Mike, you can't emphasise how important the clean sheet is. I can't emphasise it. 2 on the trot. Ramsdale, by the way, has played 3 games for Arsenal, and he's not conceded a goal. I don't know any other goalkeeper that's done that. I can't remember. So.
Lee, Ramsdale is on track right now to never give up a goal for Arsenal.
That's unreal, really. So listen, we take the points and we move on.
It's fantastic. After you start
can you hear me or not?
I can hear you. I get the sense that you can't hear me, which is kind of our relationship in a nutshell. But all right, so Lee, thank you very much, and yeah, you know what, we're keep tuned to Lee Judges TV, which is Lee's new endeavor, because you will see some new content, which might include a couple Yanks. That's all I got to say. Keep tuned. 28th of September. Nothing specific, and maybe or maybe not. All right, so thank you, Lee, for your post-game thoughts. I can't agree more, and we're going to bring on Michael to talk next about what was a really, really, really needed 3 points. So, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, my friend? We did it. It's a win. In some ways convincing, in some ways not. You never really fully feel comfortable with this club. I mean, at the pub today where I was at, there's also a corner of the pub that's kind of ruled by Bayern Munich fans. And so they were like up 8-0 and they started coming over to watch the Arsenal game. I would love for that to someday kind of reverse itself, but I don't know that that's going to happen. Give me your thoughts on the game, man of the match, anything that concerned you, and where you watched it from.
Right. So I watched it from home. And one thing
Where's
I can
that?
say is it was a game, Houston, Texas. So,
Nice.
yeah, it was a game of 2 hours. First half was more or less like if I'm putting, like scores to it or something. First half was like a 7/10, where, we didn't give too much away. We stuck to our guns. We had like a pattern that we were playing and everything, even though there weren't too many chances created. But second half, everything just went to shit. Excuse my French, but everything just went to shit. And
first time in about 350 podcasts that there's ever been a foul word said. So we'll blame you for that. We don't do that. We don't work blue, but hey.
Yes, sir. So everybody just started, showing what they were made of, basically. The front three in the second half, to me, was non-existent. But other than that, the other, players on the field, Tomiyasu, apart from the craziness from Ben White, which almost cost, a penalty, they stuck to their guns and defended, really well. Special mention goes to Gabriel and also Martin Odegaard. I am, split between the two of them for who I'm gonna give the man of the match. But if you're looking based off of the clean sheet, 3 points and everything, then you probably go with Gabriel because he did outstanding at the back, and that's what we've been missing for a minute. Also, Ramsdale just seems to be sleeping at the back. He's rented the RV, just having fun.
You're coming on here with a negative approach about Ramsdale for real?
No. I mean, he's got nothing to do at the back now. He's just chilling at the back. He's in the RV watching the match, from the TV now, as opposed to
I mean,
what our other goalkeepers do.
Personally, I thought Ramsdale was called on a lot more than I would want Ramsdale to be called on, and he answered the bell. He answered this.
Sorry to cut you short, but the thing about him being called on was he dealt with that like a professional. There was no if buts. About the way he dealt with everything when he was called on. All the aerial balls, the corner kicks, he was commanding. So it was just like it was having fun. Which is what I'm trying to say.
Like Aston said, we almost came to blows because I misunderstood you. I thought you meant that he was getting a little too comfortable and at the back. I mean, like, look, if he's comfortable, then that's a sign of his front of his back four being there. But that guy is commanding the back of the pitch right now for us, and I could not be more comfortable with that. Forget what you read in the press, whatever you read about Leno and the bust up and him getting his spot back against the North. The only way that Leno starts against Tottenham would have been if Ramsdale shit the bed today. And he did the opposite. He did the opposite. He actually cleaned shit off of the bed today, put the bed sheets into the laundry, cleaned it up, and our bed sheets are cleaner than they ever. I mean, we have clean sheets beyond like the normal level of what a washer and dryer would do. So he's absolutely. I mean, Leno. I'm really excited to see Leno Wednesday against Wimbledon, and then I'll see. And then I'll see him when I'm in London the last week of October against like Northampton Town or whatever the hell team we played in the 4th round. But other than that, Ramsdale's my man. So
I mean, Ramsdale all day right now. It reminds me of another goalkeeper that we sold. You know.
You know what though? But he's not smoking in the men's room. Okay. You're talking about Emmy, actually. All right. Well, you know what? I think he has the opportunity to be a heck of a lot better than Emmy Martinez, to be honest with you.
Right.
All right. So before we bring on our next open micer, you watched? Did you watch the pub in Houston or at home? You said you watched it at home.
No. Yeah, I watched it on. It was like a little early. Yeah.
How great was it not? How great was it to watch the game on NBC Sports instead of goddamn Peacock? I mean, last week were you with the rest of us last week trying to watch the first 20 minutes of the game, and goddamn Peacock was screwing up with the game?
Yeah. That happened to me too.
I mean, look, I'm happy to live in the States because apparently, 3 p.m. games don't get televised. I had more people reaching out to me from the UK today asking how they can watch the Arsenal game, which is funny because, if you live in the UK, you're supposed to be proper US, proper Arsenal, but we're here out in America, non-proper. Just thank God the game wasn't on Peacock because, fucking Peacock. I don't need some football streaming channel that doesn't even work mocking me about my cock. So F Peacock. I think we won today because of 2 reasons. Not Peacock.
Okay.
And this shirt is now 2 wins on the trot. I'm not taking this off, not just for games, but just like
not
any
watching
day.
It. Not watching it either.
I'm not. I'm going to get divorced. My wife will leave me because I have been known to smell less than great, but I'm not taking the shirt off until we lose a game. So, everyone should root for me to end up alone in a gutter somewhere because I smell so bad. But Arsenal will win trophies. So, Michael, great to see you, man.
Thank you, brother.
We're winning the league as long as I keep this shirt on. So,
yes.
Great to see you again, Michael. Take care. Hope you join us after Wimbledon and come on, you Gooners, man.
I will come on again.
All right, bro.
All right.
Russell.
Hello.
Can we hear you? Oh, we can hear you. Now I was actually excited to bring you on when I couldn't hear you because you are so much more pleasant without audio. But Russell, man, Russ, I couldn't love a man more than I love you, man. But and you're clearly not in Burnley today, so I don't know what's wrong with you. But family man, old. So you took the game in at home or at a pub?
I managed to find one of those streams you were talking about with the young man earlier. So I'm not a proper fan now.
No. Apparently you're a proper fan, and I'm not because
no. Listen,
because I don't go home and away. So
we've had that discussion many times, and that's not my view at all, as you know. I speak to people in the good old US of A all the time,
and frankly, that's not the view of the people that I'm mocking anyway. I'm just making it into something that it's not. But So Russ, man, we love banter. We love talking about our club. We have similar and different opinions on it, but I always want to hear what you have to say. Now, today, did the Cronkies win or lose that game? Because it ultimately comes down to that for you, right?
They proper shit the bed today.
Although you have to admit, we're selling tons of merch. So, and unlike Lee Gunner, we actually deliver the merch that people.
I'm not going to get into that. It's so what's that? Salty. It's really salty. No, today I'm really happy. As Lee said earlier, the performance don't matter. I don't give a monkeys about performances. It's results. It's results at the end of the day, and streams. Results and streams. No, we were average at best. One thing I will say, though, I've always advocated this: the spine of the team is paramount in a football team, and a good football team. And we're starting to just see little embers of a spine forming. The goalkeeper today was outstanding. He commanded his area, aerially very good, in amongst some proper units as well in Woods and Barnes and Natalie Rodriguez.
Barnes always finds a way to do us, and I was not having that today. That team looked like. I'm watching highlights now of the Odegaard free kick. My God, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah,
but yeah, Ashley Barnes does not. I don't care if you're Ashley Barnes, Harvey Barnes, whatever the John Barnes. They always kill us. Barneses kill us, and today we weren't having any of it.
No, we actually put it in physically. And we weren't bullied, but I think that detracted from some of the players' performances a little bit. I think it affected their performances. I am really starting to get worried about Saka playing on the left. I just don't think it suits him one iota.
Would it kill them to just flip Saka and Pepe? I mean, we've seen Pepe play fantastic on the left before.
I've said this before. Why can't we just for 5 or 10 minutes in a game just swap them over? Just prearrange a time, or if things are not going well, just put the thumbs up and just swap them. It's such an easy thing to do, and I think we'd see Saka next to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe blossoms, Saka blossoms, and when you watch Manchester City playing, you notice that they get players because they pass a short passing game. They get players near to each other. Our front three today was spread right across the park. Had no chance of interacting with each other.
We didn't really give them much to think about. I was going to say in the first 30 minutes, I think I tweeted or I wrote a note for myself. First 30 minutes, nothing that we offered in attack looked like Burnley wasn't well capable of handling.
Yeah,
it wasn't particularly like thought provoking. It wasn't particularly. I mean, you saw what Everton did to Burnley in the second half on Monday. They had no answer to that. And I thought that's exactly what we needed to try to force to happen in the first half today.
We had the opportunities. We had the opportunities, but we just kept on fluffing our lines.
Well, and they look like they really kind of had them handled. And that was the case. And the second I wrote that down, Saka gets fouled about 3 yards outside of the box. I'm thinking a little too close for a top free kick, and Odegaard steps over it. So tell me about that. I mean, Did you favor Odegaard to take that kick, or were you thinking that it would be Alba or Pepe?
I thought he was going to put it in the other corner, and it surprised me to get that over that wall and that flat. It was a brilliant free kick. Technique is that's only a few players in the world can do that, and we're lucky enough to have him.
And it wasn't even close to the crossbar. I mean, that thing got up and down quicker than
really quick.
Yeah,
it's really quick. But the point
got up and down quicker than Andy Nunn.
Yeah, the point I was making about us being fluffing our lines was when we got in the second half, when we had chances to counter attack. A simple pass. We tried to over-egg the pudding, and instead of feeding it out right to Saka, who was on the right at that. I think it was Saka was on the right at that time. Whoever it was, I think it was Odegaard. He tried to thread a precise ball through to Odegaard to Aubameyang, and it just didn't carry to him, and it was frustrating to watch because that would have been a tap-in for Aubameyang if he got it out wide to Saka and then squared the ball. And then the Emil Smith-Rowe one, when he cut in, and I know he only had a fraction of a second because the other fella was really close to him, but he should have tried to tickle that with his instep, a cut across the ball and put it the other side or side foot it across the goalkeeper. And he did sort of nothing, and it was an easy save for the goalkeeper. That was a wasted chance. You've got to put those chances away when you're 1-0.
We were not particularly convincing in the final third today. I mean, a free kick goal, and
that is an issue, though. That is an issue with.
We didn't make their keeper work particularly hard. There weren't a lot of looks. I mean, they made Ramsdale work a lot harder than we made their keeper look. So, look, there's a lot to improve upon, and that's the thing. When you win a game 1-0 and you can point to what there is to improve upon, and it's a game away from home against a team that isn't. They're tipped for relegation this season, but they're never an easy win.
that fixture is always one of our most difficult fixtures away from home. Always.
It is. I've heard a lot of people say there are Bolton, there are who was it after Bolton that I guess Palace we've had some trouble with away, but But I'm thrilled with the 3 points. I love to hear that. It's okay to point out that I think more players had bad games today than had bad games last week against Norwich, even though the opponent was probably easier to break down.
Yeah,
but
we've
the confidence.
Got the talent. We've got the talent there, but they seem to be stifled. I think they just need to make those simple decisions, those easy decisions. Football's a simple game, as me and my daughter were saying earlier on. Football's a simple game. Make simple decisions. Don't try and be too clever, especially when you're at 1-0.
When you have the talent, let the talent play. Don't try to overthink it. And I think over time, when we start feeling like we can win games, and now that's 2, and next week is massive.
Yeah.
If we can come into next week with confidence and turn those guys over, as we should at this point, this team's going to be brimming with confidence and hopefully health and ready to play. We got a few more people in the red room that are ready to get in. Russ, tell us where we can find you now that you've entered the podcast world and you're a star now. You and your daughter are like the hottest free agents in the world right now. I mean, you're definitely the more attractive one, but
about that.
So anywhere we can find you? You get any guest appearances coming up?
My little
Twitter,
my little Twitter handle and Instagram handles on the page at Gooners 11. And I'm doing some fan cams, which I'm just trying to get.
You changed your thing. It used to be like the Arsenal, the American. No, not the American. It used to be something like the Arsenal something, right?
Yeah, you have 2 things on Twitter, don't you? You have your actual.
You have like a burner account.
Yeah, no. You've got I'm called the Arsenal Football on Twitter, but my actual address to find me is at
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, everyone go to Gooners 11. Russ is salt of the earth. Love the guy. Cannot wait for our hug in a month.
In the 12 pins.
I'm coming over, and in the 12 pins, I'm going to hug you. I'm going to tackle you. We're going to be lying on the ground together, and you're going to love it. Yeah. Russ, thanks for joining us, man. Good to see you.
Pleasure. Yeah,
talk to you soon. All right, we're gonna welcome in Albert. Albert,
yes, right,
my friend. Welcome to your duck-breaking appearance on the Gooners podcast, man. Why has this taken so long?
I know it's madness, but I thought no, I've got some spare time. Let me come on because I'm going to do a show myself tonight. But no, much love to you, man. It's glad to be on.
Hey, no, it's great to have you on. Real quick, for anyone that doesn't know Albert, tell us where we can find you, but on your channel, on other channels, because you do some great stuff.
No, I appreciate it, Mike, man. Then, guys, I've got a very easy name to find, so I'd be very surprised if you don't find Albert JTV. But yeah,
and the J stands for Jewish, right? I mean, I just want to make sure I want to make that clear because anytime there's a J, I just assume
it's my beautiful middle name, Joseph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Albert JTV, Twitter handle at AUM57. Don't think about it, people. Come and check the channel out.
So, all right. So today, I don't want to focus on the negative, but I almost think like after a win, it's a little different when you say, okay, we won despite A, B, C, and D. Subpar games from Ben White, Saka, Alba. You could probably throw another player or 2 in there that really, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm usually pretty good at not giving out anything under a 6, but I think you could get 4 or 5 players that got 4s or 5s today. Yet we still did the job. How does that get done? I mean, and I also want to, because we haven't crossed this bridge yet, I want to talk to you about that VAR decision because, once in a while, it actually seems to work. I mean, that was a no-brainer to me, but there's no reason to think that was actually going to get called in our favor. So have you say, Albert.
You know what? Mike, Twitter world as well as I do how it can be, man. And if that decision had been upheld, Twitter would have gone into a madness. But they eventually saw sense in the end. And I don't know when Aaron Ramsdale's birthday or when his birthday is, but Ben White owes him an early Christmas birthday present because he has got him out of jail, Mike. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ben White would have been painted with the Mustafi brush if Ramsdale hadn't saved him in that situation. By the way, it's 14th of May, so he may very well have a FA Cup birthday sometime soon.
But yeah, like the Ben White, yeah, he didn't have. Unfortunately for him, he didn't have a very good game today. But I'm going to stick with him obviously going forward because you know what, Mike, I've said before with the defense in particular. With the defense in particular, I want to see us settle back for, mate, to be honest. So give them a run of games. I don't care who the strikers are who they're coming up against. I don't care what formations they're coming up against. Give this back for some continuity. I thought Tomiyasu would be tested today because Dwight McNeil's a decent player. I thought he gave a really wholehearted performance, Tomiyasu. I thought Gabriel was colossal. I thought he's my man of the match personally.
That's a good shout because everyone's talking about. I mean, I personally, Ramsdale's my man of the match. Odegaard's my probably vice man of the match, but it's a good shout for Gabriel because not only did he play well, but I think, look, I don't know shit about tactics. I've said that for 5 years. I don't know how why a dozen people still listen to anything I have to say, but like if Ben White was as bad as he was today, I think the reason that it didn't cost us is because of having a partnership like Gabriel. And Gabriel might have a bad game in a couple of weeks. He might be a little bit off, and Ben White will pick him up. I mean, it's about partnerships. It shouldn't be about one player costing us. It should be about the unit altogether, right?
Yeah, and Mike, that's the problem with the team, generally speaking, for the last 2 years. There's not enough combination play. There's not enough partnerships in the team. And a lot of that partly you do have to look at the manager because, yes, I understand about rotation and maybe resting players for certain games, but you have to have a nucleus of a team that you can rely on when you put out a team on a Saturday or a Tuesday or whatever it is in the week. But unfortunately, we haven't had that. But with Gabriel quickly, particularly that block in the first half was different class because Ashley Barnes was about to pull the trigger and it probably would have been 1-1. But that was fantastic positional sense, and obviously,
was that the play? Because I remember I was at the pub today, so it was it's a little harder to like get detail at the pub than it is at home. There was a play where was it Barnes that chested the ball, and then he was going to be in on goal. Tomiyasu wrapped around him, and Gabriel also wrapped around him. I initially thought that Tomiyasu had made the play, and when I watched it in slow motion, I was like, "That's Gabriel." I mean, Tomiyasu slowed him down a little bit, but Gabriel made that play. That was a highlight of the game for me in the second half. I mean, that was fantastic.
Because you know what, Mike?
Was that the first half?
You know what, Mike? Because prediction-wise, I said 1-0 to Arsenal, and purely because. Yes, we got the 1-0 win last week, but in terms of finishing chances or creating chances, we're not there yet as a team. So, and the way Burnley play, I thought Arsenal would sneak it 1-0, and they did. I said it wasn't going to be a pretty game to watch, and it wasn't. The second half in particular, I don't know what you felt, Mike, and some of the other Arsenal fans, but what really, really annoyed me, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta would have got annoyed as well, is the fact that when we got a chance to break, like 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s and whatever, our final pass is appalling. All of them are guilty of it.
I'm gonna use a word that I will only ever use for football, and I'll only ever use on the podcast, and that's what this bell is all about. We were bereft of ideas, and I mean, I've never said the word bereft to my kid or my wife. I'm I'm bereft of food right now. Like, well, I've obviously never said that, but like, I mean, we really, and that's what my notes for myself was that nothing in attack that Burnley didn't seem prepared for. I mean, you watch some games when teams are playing against teams that they should beat, and even if you like look at Everton against Burnley last Monday, I mean, there's a point where the defense has absolutely no clue what to do because you're giving them looks, and there's an extra man where they're not expecting it. There's a diagonal pass where they didn't see it coming. There's somebody making a run, and it's just all you have to do is find them. And it's like we're just doing like the common typical things and hoping to overpower them or outman them on an odd man rush. And That's all well and good, except you're not gonna win games 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, 4-2 by doing that. You're gonna win games 1-0 if you're strong at the back and do it off of a free kick or a kind of a pinball goal like we scored against Norwich last week. That's what we have to fix, because we're not giving the opposition like that, oh my God, we don't know how to handle this pressure kind of look.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to just, like I said, we get to the final third and our passing is just it's awful. And it's like I said, it's not just one particular player, it's all of them. We got into some very good attacking positions in that second half in particular. You can say Burnley came into the game, but why was that? We didn't start that second half well at all. And you know what? But sort of kind of switch it back to a positive, Mike, 2 back-to-back clean sheets and a defense that is newly formed. Like I said, needs more time to settle. That is a positive.
We have a goalkeeper that is on track right now to never, ever concede a goal for Arsenal in his entire career.
That'd be nice.
How often can you say that? I mean, I think, Manuel Almunia gave up a few goals before he even started playing for us. I mean, Aaron Ramsdale is the best keeper per game that we've ever had right now. So, Albert, I'm going to bring on somebody with us because he specifically asked me to join you, and so we're gonna bring him in. The man, and I'd like to say thank you to the chat, because I'm actually getting some. Unlike within my family, I'm getting actual comments and compliments about the what is it, the John Travolta look, like, and it's not John Travolta in Grease, which was kind of cool. It's John Travolta like when he was at his absolute worst. So yeah, we do have that going on. But I'm bringing in a guy who you're going to be seeing a lot of us together pretty soon. Let's just put it that way. Tanner, aka the Bearded Gooner.
There we go.
Where'd you take in the game from, my friend?
On my phone, at the bar, where I work.
That's right, aren't you? I thought you were working. I thought you were working all day today. What's up with you at home? Did you get fired?
No, no. There were 6 people in the bar for about 2 hours, and me and one of the other guys, and they were like, you know what, this is stupid. We're out of here. So I got to go back in at 7 and work the night shift. But
yeah, I didn't even. I guess nobody. None of the Irish. When you reached out to me, you were like, I'm off the grid today because I'm working for 17,000 hours today.
I was going to be, but the Irish in Pittsburgh decided that they didn't want to party their asses off. So
you know what?
Yeah. So all the better for me. I get to get some things done here today. Come on with you, fine gentlemen. Al.
Yes.
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm keeping well, man. Trying to keep well. 2 back-to-back clean sheets. Good weekend, man.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I'm the Debbie Downer of the group today, I feel like. But I mean,
this is an open mic show. So look, we neither want a specific type of opinion for clicks, and we neither don't want that to be positive. We want your reaction. We want your reaction. Hold on. Where's the camera? We want your reaction, and I don't care what it is. I just want to hear it, and then I'll tell you that you're an idiot.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I did. I gave my opinion on Twitter, and then I did respond to someone. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink. So, including mine, by the way.
Especially yours.
Especially mine. Woo. You don't want to. Anyway, that we're getting off. We're getting off. This is what you're going to get with Mike and me, Mike and I. So, now take with a pinch of salt that I did not get to watch and fully invest myself in watching the match. The first half was hit or miss, really, for me. Really, what's happening? So what I saw in the first half, I liked. I will say that. Defensively, overall, I thought we really put in a shift. Ben White, from what I saw, looked a bit shaky, but I'm not worried about that. I feel like maybe Ben White right now feels the pressure of his price tag a little bit, and he's trying so hard to not make a mistake that he's kind of making some mistakes here and there. But Gabrielle, I thought, had a great game.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsdale. I want to just turn my shower on and just let it run to shower him with praise, because this dude, like this is it now. It's his net to keep.
It is his team.
Yeah.
100%. It is. It really is.
He has taken this team. It's his. I'm not even going to say it's his job to lose. It's his job. Period. It's his job.
When
he makes his first mistake, I hope that people don't overreact and act like,
Well, let's face it. I mean,
there will be a mistake.
Going to happen.
There will be a mistake. We almost thought that he conceded a penalty today, and that would not have been down to him. Obviously, that was Ben White. But there will be a moment. I don't know. It'll be like the Leno moment where he kicks the ball out against Olympiacos and then they score. I don't know if it'll be like when he flailed the ball against Chelsea a couple years ago during the festive period when I was at the game and Jorginho just walks in and score. I don't know if he'll do that, but he might. That happens. But the guy is our
from everything I've seen from Ramsdale versus Leno. Leno, I think, is the superior shot stopper, but there's something to be said when you command your box the way that Aaron Ramsdale does, the way that he organizes the defense in front of him, his aggression on set pieces and coming out I'm watching him come out and catch the ball on corners, on set pieces, and I'm thinking to myself, Bernd Leno would just shrink back into his net. And I'm sorry, I don't like people who pass the buck. And it always seems to me that Bernd Leno wants to pass the buck to his defenders and say, well, you go make the stop first. And if there's a mess to clean up, I'll do my best. And Ramsdale's just saying, no, fellas, I'm taking you out of the equation. I got this. I'm not even going to let this be a question.
Well, and that makes them want to fight for him harder.
Right. Absolutely.
They will get him out of a spot if they can, other than what we saw from Ben White today, but they will get him out of a spot because they'll dive off a cliff for him. And I haven't seen a single person that's like, I'll ride or die for Leno. I'll put my face in front of a shot.
Yep.
So that he doesn't have to make a tougher save. And last week against Norwich, I saw 4 or 5 people put, I for whatever reason, when the two of us get together, we start talking about American sports analogies. but when you watch ice hockey and you see defenders throw themselves in front of a shot, now that's a little tiny thing moving and hitting you at
about
with
90
pads,
miles an hour,
hitting you at 102 miles an hour in some cases.
Wow, if you're Al McInnes,
if you're Zdeno Chara,
Shea Weber,
but they do that constantly. They do that constantly, and that's what leads up to a winning team. And I didn't see that so much today because I don't know that it was really called for it. But against Norwich, I saw guys throwing themselves in front of the ball constantly to where Ramsdale didn't even have to make some saves that he probably would have been able to make. But like, why?
I mean, let's face it. A winning team is built from the back out. 100%. That's how the winning team is built, right? You build down the middle with the spine. That's just how winning teams are built. You need that solid foundation, and you don't build the foundation on scoring. You build the foundation on solid defense and solid goalkeeping. I will say in the second half, what I saw, I was very disappointed in what I saw. I heard you guys talking, and I think, Mike, you made the comment, just, again, uncreative. Our passing was abysmal. It was just absolutely dire. Yeah. But, something that I saw more than what I'm a couple of things. I'm getting real sick of watching us when we pass the ball. Our receivers are receiving the ball with their backs to goal.
Our receivers,
or they're facing
proper fans are going to make fun of you for saying our receivers.
That's fine. Whatever.
We know what you mean, Tyler. We don't.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the player receiving the ball, is doing so with his back to goal. I'm so sick of that. So sick and tired of seeing that because
unless you're in the box like Giroud or Lacazette and you're then laying it off to somebody.
And even
but this is happening in different parts of the pitch. So.
It's happening all over the pitch. The only player that receives the ball for us that doesn't have his back to the attacking goal is the goalkeeper.
It's Ramsdale.
It's Ramsdale. He's the only guy facing goal when he receives the ball.
I said
out loud.
I said with about 2 minutes left in the game, I said if Ramsdale turned around and threw the ball into his own net, he would still be the man in the match because of how well he played in the first 88. But we're going to bring in a fourth. We're going to finish this off with a cluster in the best possible way. I got a couple of Arteta post-game quotes, compliments of Chris Wheatley. Love me some Chris. So we're going to bring on Aston.
Yeah.
Aston is not just the Mac. He is actually named that.
How do we get Return of the Mac to play when Aston comes on screen?
We'll get like the goddamn the copyright violation.
Just eat the copyright violations, Mike. Just do
copyright strike.
We don't monetize this anyway. I just don't want the channel shut down. Like I don't care about them taking our money because we don't monetize it anyway. But,
well, you make enough money. Just pay the fine. Just tell them to fine and be like, hey, we'll pay you.
You don't know what I make. You
don't know me.
He looks at the 30 people in the audience and he goes, Mike makes a ton of money off this stream.
Dude, all the clicks we're getting from this right now, they're all going to fight the copyright thing because
good. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think I put some sort of like a yakety sax like the last game we played that we were just absolutely ridiculous on defense. I played the Benny Hill music and I'm like, okay, well that one's banned. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, don't shut down the channel. Take the monetization because we're not doing it anyway. Like that's not why we do the podcast.
Right.
So so I just does that mean I can like start playing Soundgarden on the pod? Because I would love to do that. All right, so Aston, sorry, we're not going to keep talking over you, man.
I was going to say nobody take his advice right now because that's not Mike. That's evil Mike. That's clearly a doppelganger. He's got the beard. It gives it away. I don't know why he does it. But
can I say one thing before we because in about 6 minutes I got to wrap up because my 18-year-old son has a game at in about 25 minutes. It's about a 5-minute drive away, and I'm not driving, by the way. But yeah. So I just want to say something for Gooners versus Cancer, which is yes, it's still going on. It's about a month left. It's going to end sometime while I'm over in London. But I've been working on something for 2 years that was going to blow people away. And I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to talk about it, but it has happened. And first of all, go to goonersvcancer.com. Not just because this shirt wins us football games as it appears to, but because we've got some amazing prizes. We got 11 really good prizes to bid on. You donate, you get raffle tickets. You allocate your raffle tickets to particular prizes. And then in the to the middle end of October, we're going to draw winners, and it's a way to give to help kick cancer, help people with blood cancers, leukemia, lymphoma. Society gets all of the funds, and it's just an amazing thing. But we are going to be not raffling. Well, we'll either be raffling or auctioning off. I don't really know which it is, but we're going to be maximizing our ability to get funds for a particular item that. If you haven't seen this yet, there are 2 of them in the world. And this is what it is. It is a Arsenal 1988-1999 jersey or 1988-89 jersey. And I'm going to put it away because if I don't, I will probably spill something on it and I will regret that for the rest of my life. But John Lukic, Lee Dixon, Alan Smith, and Michael Thomas have all signed that shirt and put the famous part of the Brian Moore, it's up for grabs now, starting with Arsenal come streaming forward, ending with Thomas right at the end. And they've all written the parts of that correspond to when they had the ball in their possession. And there are 2 of them that exist in the world. And they're both in my hands. One of them will be auctioned off this year. One of them might be held until a certain thing happens that I hope is 50 years away. But this is something that you can't go and buy. You cannot get that. There are no copies of it. So Gooners versus Cancer, we hope to get the maximum amount of donation for that. Keep in touch with @GoonersVCancer on Twitter and on Instagram. We'll be putting details about how we're going to end up selling it. I honestly don't know if it's going to be an auction or a raffle, but we want to make sure to get what that kind of shirt is due, because that is, I still can't believe Alan Smith did that for me.
Mike, what I think my favorite part of what you just said is you had a slip of the tongue and you almost said kick the cancer out. And I was like, is he going to say kick the cancer out of these kids? That should be your new tagline. Kicking Gooners versus cancer, kicking the cancer out of children.
Well, look, I don't care who we kick the cancer out of, but children certainly need that. But yeah, it blows my mind that these four amazing parts of history for Arsenal actually came together and did this for me, and did this for the cause. Really, they didn't do it for me; they did it for the charity. And so please make sure to bid on that, and just stay tuned as we release details. Ashton, I haven't really given you much time, so with the 5 minutes we have left, Takahiro, all of his duels, again, 4 out of 4 aerial duels. He won like 90 out of 90 last week. We got Arteta talking about Partey being the anchor and the charisma. So, I mean, tell me what your thoughts are on the game and going forward.
Well, Takahiro was definitely my Takahiro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a really great presence.
What you did there.
One of the times I think it came off of a corner kick or something. Barnes was actually in, and they had kicked the ball right over the ball over Ben White, and the two players that were on Barnes when Gabby took the ball right off of Barnes's toes were Tommy and Gabby. And I think that speaks a lot to the solidity that they bring to our defense and kind of what they're all going to be about. They're really forming like a back three kind of partnership where you have two kind of destroyers that'll round up the ball and get it to White, and then White will go ahead and bypass them and get it down the field. So I think it's a really interesting thing that we've got going. But we really, 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 really need somebody to teach players how to kick the ball. I don't know what's going on.
Specifically, how to kick it past the goalkeeper from the other team,
or just to each other. I mean, even Partey was underselling balls, and it was actually funny because real fast, Sambi and Ainsley Maitland-Niles had the 3rd and 4th most touches and the 3rd and 4th most completed passes, and they
played 30 minutes combined between the two of them.
Yeah, so it's an interesting dynamic that we have to get right. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that ESR went completely missing today. It's not his fault. He's a young kid. We're going to expect these sorts of performances, but that's why you saw you saw Odegaard actually almost pick up his slack, having to drop a little deeper in the play and stuff and really get in. But all signs are good. 2 wins, man. Who cares?
Isn't that what we want? I mean, I understand we're not a U23 team, but we have a lot of young players. These young players are otherworldly at times, and then at times they're this worldly and underworldly. But like, as long as you have the right mix, and you've got a Gabriel to pick up a Ben White, if you've got a Odegaard to pick up a Saka, I mean, Saka was not impressive today. So I mean, if you've got that though, that should be enough to win games that you should be winning, which we have been losing. I'm not saying that's enough to put in a shift against Liverpool. I'm not saying that's enough to give it, to go away to Man City and win, or make it less than 5-0 as it was a few weeks ago. That's still our problem. But when you have a team that picks each other up, and when some people have a poor game, there's someone else to help them. That's when you start seeing performances against teams that we should be winning against, and you see wins, which is exactly what we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And I throw it back to everybody else. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It really feels like we're seeing partnerships develop. We're seeing little neat things across the pitch. But what was really just missing is chemistry. Like, players just seem like they're taking an extra second. They're scanning every time they get the ball to see who's available instead of just automatically understanding who's going to be where. It's just a click too slow right now. But at least, I mean, and again, I could be delusional. I have Arsenal goggles. We all do. Are we seeing?
You are, but not about this.
Yeah. I'm delusional about you.
Yes, I mean, I've heard some things that you've said about me, and I'm like, you are the craziest person I've ever met. But no, I mean, the partnerships are good, and you know what? Partnerships in podcasting are pretty good too. And Tanner, I think we got one. We have a little partnership going. So
we do. Stay tuned.
We're not going to go overboard by talking about stuff, but Tanner and I will be doing a little bit of stuff soon, and it's going to be fun, and you're going to want to watch it. So stay tuned.
Dare I say it might get a little soupy?
Might get a little soupy, and I hope that no one judges us for it. But yeah, so stay tuned for some more content. I have a hard stop because my son, who he's an adult now, and not just in the eyes of the Torah since his bar mitzvah, but he's now 18. The dude now he can drink, but he doesn't want to. Now he could smoke, but he's not going to. But we're gonna head out to his game. He's got a rec soccer game, which I call it soccer because it's basically what it is. It's not the quality of football, but I want to go see him play because he's the number 9 and he scores goals in buckets. So I'll be doing that. Tanner, we'll be talking soon. I'm glad that you were home from work today. I'm glad you got sacked.
Easy, I didn't get sacked. All right, I gotta go back.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're here for this.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Aston, I'm still looking forward to moving to your state and watching games with you. Even though we're gonna live about 2 hours apart, we're gonna switch time, and I'm gonna come up to Orlando. You're gonna come down to Bradenton, and we're gonna watch games together.
Will it count because we're not in England watching games at the stadium? So
no. I mean, if you're not a proper Gooner, the only better thing than not being a proper Gooner by yourself is not being a proper Gooner with other people. And today at the pub, I loved not being a proper Gooner with other people. So, and again, I'm switching the argument a little bit for comedy purposes, but yeah. So Albert, it's great to have you on, man.
No,
we'll be talking soon.
Absolutely.
I'd love to chat some Arsenal on your channel. You'll be coming on ours, and the family keeps growing. There's a lot of good people that like to talk about Arsenal, and the reason we do these open mic shows is because it doesn't just have to be people that want a podcast. If you want to come on and chat Arsenal and spend a few minutes, and there are no requirements. It is literally an open mic. So go to GoonerOpenMic.com an hour after every game. We'll probably do it after Wimbledon, but we'll definitely do it after every other game. And the more new faces we get, the better. And because we all love this club and we want to talk about it, and that's what it's all about. So another win. We're up to 12th for the time being. And we move on to the North London Derby next week. That's going to be massive. So with that said, come on, you Gooners, and thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I'm really far behind in finding the video. So here we go. Come on, you Gooners.
Come on.